Hi guys, today I will show you how to make a bass line like this. So the key to write a good bass line is to make sure that it doesn't clash with the kick. So let's see the frequency of the kick, and our kick is hitting G0. So if I would like to add a new bass line, as a rule of the thumb, I would add it a bit higher. I would try not to hit G0 note. This is for the bass line. If I would like to add the sub, I would also like to avoid G and maybe having a sub gliding between like C, D, C0, D0, maybe that's too low. Yeah, C0, D0 over here, and maybe A or C. But for the bass line, it's good rule of the thumb to stick to like at least a fourth above. So if this is G, if this G is our kick note, we would like our bass line to be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at least C or at least D. Of course, this is like precaution not to have those clashing notes and have a bit of the space, because all the notes there are really, really close together. So we want to separate them a bit to have that clarity. And again, you can hit this note once in a while, but you will see and you will learn that if you like keep this separation, your bass line, your low end will be much more clear, concise, and this is what we are aiming for in the club music. Now I want to talk about that. What's the secret of this bass line? Why does it sound good? There are actually key ingredients. Like first is the timbre itself, which has a bit of glide. I think this is really essential, because if we turn off the glide, it sounds good as well, but doesn't have that, doesn't swim that, it has that swimming kinda. Okay, so we know that the timbre is important. The second thing that is important is that we use different note length. So as you can see, I'm using 16 notes. These are 8 notes. These are 8 notes and a 16 note, which is called 8 note, dotted 8 note, because it's 8 note, and a half of the 8 note. And the half of the 8 note is 16 note. So 8 note and 16 note create dotted 8 note, which is here. And dotted 8 notes are really, really good for creating bass line, because they add that groove and that swing that makes body moving, in my opinion. Okay, so let's write something. And we know that we want to stay out of G, so maybe C, D. And if we are like around C, I think we can write something in C minor. So I know this note, those notes by heart. This will be D, D sharp, for example. This will be an A. Let's try an A. And then, so whenever I'm like putting notes, I'm thinking already about the contour. So there's like this whole contour, because so the contour shapes already like we are ascending, we're going up. Maybe let's hit some note on top over here, and then let's go down and maybe up a bit. So let's then drastically drop, maybe over here. Maybe this one can be longer. And actually, as you can see, I'm using 16th, 8th notes. So it would be nice to have a dotted 8th note, for example, here or here. We can see as it works. And then I could hear that this bass line can actually accelerate a bit. So to have like a few 16 notes at the end. Let's see how that sounds. Not bad, in my opinion. I'm missing something here. Let's maybe put another note over here, a C. Okay, I think this works well. So we are using different note lengths. And what we can do actually even more to make this note length variations, we can actually use dotted 16th. So dotted 16th would be a 16 and a 132. So let's make this one longer. And that's it. Perfect. So then, after we know we have a good notes, let's add some dynamics. So we would add the dynamics by using different velocities. So I would like this one to be, let's say, lower, this one as well lower, then something like that, and something like that. And this one, maybe we can accentuate that one. Okay, so we're moving in a good direction in my opinion. And then I think the good idea for, I would say, a tip here would be to use variation. So I like the bass lines where they have a bit of movement and they are not so repetitive. And in this case, I would just make them longer. So I hit duplicate and we have this same pattern duplicated. So what we can do is to actually make some changes and let's actually maybe invert those notes. And let's hear. And once again, maybe these notes can be different. Oh, better. So this contour is more prominent. And what is good also to have in the bass lines, in those variations, is to actually add one note, one octave above. Perfect. Okay, and to even like accelerate this a bit, let's duplicate it once more. And then we can, for example, make those 16th even more like rolling. So in this case, I would make them like 132s. Let's see how that sounds, and let's add a bit of dynamics. Maybe it's something like that. And then we would make this one rolling. I'm curious how that would sound actually. Or that one. Okay, that's too much. Perfect. So this rolling 16th creates an accent as well. So if you want to make an accent on some certain notes, you just split them in half as I did here. What I would do actually to make it even, to have another variation of this pattern, would be actually to make changes to this note D, because we are hitting D all the time, like boom, boom. All this time there is this D is really long, and actually in another section of the song we could actually hit G, for example, or A. Maybe that's D, didn't work. Let's see. Oh, so we can actually make those changes in this note as well. I think this works well and adds a bit of variation to the static in this example note. Okay, so we have variations, we have pretty good notes, we are above the kick, all is going really well in my opinion. We have different note lengths as well, a lot of note lengths, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 note lengths. This is already rich in my opinion. And at the end there are some effects we can add. So I got a bit of echo, and let's hear it without the echo. It's pretty dry, isn't it? We only need a touch of echo. And good settings here are 8 notes and dotted, so the channels differ between each other. You can add a bit of character. Actually, just change a bit the time of each. Now it's too crazy. And I'm adding some gain on the output, because if I add echo, I'm losing the clarity and punchiness. Okay, so I hope that was useful. If you learned something, let me know in the comment what next you would like to learn from me. I'm happy to listen to your suggestions. And if you want to learn more, support my work, there is a link in the description to the Rapid Arrangement mini course, or watch any other video popping around here. Have a good day.